These foods shouldn't exist. Every grocery store looks pretty much the same. Oranges stacked in neat piles, almonds in bags, broccoli doing nothing suspicious. But almost nothing in that store looks the way it did in nature. Some of it was engineered over centuries. Some of it should be lethal. One of the best-selling fruits on Earth is a genetic clone. The produce section is a collection of accidents and science projects. An orange is not a natural fruit. It is a cross between a mandarin and a pomelo, two fruits that many people couldn't pick out of a lineup. Thousands of years ago in Southeast Asia, those two species crossed. The result was sweet and easy to peel, so humans kept growing it. Lemons are a hybrid too, and so are limes. Grapefruit did not exist until the 1700s, an accidental cross between an orange and a pomelo on the island of Barbados. The entire citrus aisle descends from 3 or 4 wild ancestor species. Everything else is crossbreeding and grafting. The citrus family tree looks less like a tree and more like a tangled conspiracy board. Broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, Brussels sprouts, and kohlrabi are all the same plant. Not just related, the exact same species, Brassica oleracea. They all come from one scraggly wild mustard plant that grows along European coastlines. Farmers bred different parts of it into different foods. Grow the leaves bigger, that is kale. Grow the flower buds bigger, that is broccoli and cauliflower. 6 different vegetables from one coastal weed. The difference is just which part someone decided to grow bigger. Some of the most ordinary foods in the grocery store started out as ruthless killers. Bitter wild almonds contain amygdalin, a compound the body converts into hydrogen cyanide. Eat enough and they can kill you. Every almond on the shelf today exists because ancient farmers found one mutant tree with a single broken gene. One genetic accident is the foundation of the almond industry. Cashews grow inside a shell that contains urushiol, the same chemical in poison ivy. Each one has to be roasted or steamed before it's safe to touch. That's why cashews are never sold in the shell. Carrots were not always orange. They used to be purple, white, and yellow. The orange carrot showed up in the 16th and 17th centuries, popularized by Dutch growers. Legend has it they were bred as a tribute to William of Orange, leader of the Dutch Revolt. Bananas went even further. Every Cavendish banana, the yellow one that dominates every grocery store on Earth, is a genetic clone. They do not reproduce from seeds. That standard grocery store banana is the same banana, copied and pasted across 6 continents. That makes them vulnerable to disease. The banana we eat today may not survive the next major outbreak. 9,000 years ago in Mexico, farmers started breeding a wild grass called Teosinte. It looked nothing like food, a thin stalk with tiny seed cases, each one rock hard and barely worth eating. But generation after generation, they selected for bigger seeds, softer shells, and fatter ears. The result is modern corn, one of the most dramatic transformations in the history of agriculture. Corn is now so domesticated that it cannot survive without us. The husks hold the kernel so tightly that the plant can't spread its own seeds. Without a human to plant it, corn disappears. Vanilla is an orchid, not a bean or a root, just a tropical flower that blooms for less than a single day. In its home range of Mexico, there is one specific species of bee that pollinates it naturally. Outside of Mexico, there is no natural pollinator. For centuries, European colonists transplanted vanilla vines to Madagascar, Réunion, and Tahiti. The plants grew and the flowers bloomed, but not a single one produced a vanilla pod. In 1841, on Réunion Island, a 12-year-old slave named Edmund Albius solved the problem. Using a thin stick and his thumb, he developed a technique to pollinate each flower by hand. Today, Every vanilla flower grown outside of Mexico is still pollinated this way, using the same method Edmund invented when he was 12. Traditional cheese requires an enzyme called rennet, harvested from the stomach lining of young calves. The likely story is that someone in the ancient world stored milk in a calf's stomach, and when they came back, it had curdled into something delicious. Thousands of years of cheese-making trace back to that one moment inside a dead animal's stomach. Almonds were poisonous. Carrots were the wrong color. Bananas are one fungus away from extinction. Corn can't even survive without us. Vanilla needed a 12-year-old to figure out hand pollination. Cheese started as an accident. None of it was supposed to work. But humans never could leave nature alone. Sometimes that ends badly, but sometimes you get cheese. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you might as well subscribe.